is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another exciting episode. Dang, I'm always so slow to get that paused. Welcome to another exciting episode of probably one of my favorite things to do, the True Earth debate. Here on a Friday night, we've had a good run up, a good lineup tonight. We've had Jaronism, we've had the Mellow Dome, we have had Wits It Gets It on Modern Day Debate. Folks, this is going to be absolutely awesome. Let me go ahead and get situated here. All right, everything looks good. Today is going to be straight to the point because when we get going over on over on TikTok, we can really get going for a while. So I'm trying not to be here all night, if you know what I'm saying. But I want to dive in, diversify, and make sure that we tap into this dying bastion that is TikTok, right? We all kind of saw this coming, with all the crazy things that they allow, um, all the crazy things that you can see anywhere, really, and they're just starting to crack down on everything. So, yeah, it does. It is kind of lame that the Chinese spies on you. So I'm not super pro TikTok. That's why I focus a lot more of my attention here as of late. However, be that there is a tremendous user base over there on TikTok, and there's a younger generation there that may not have been exposed to this information as of yet, or at least not very good true earth information. We want to go ahead and dive right in. Mischief Brew, thanks for the early shout out for calling out that the volume is low. Let me go ahead and turn this up just a bit for you then. Big thumbs up, all checks out. Super cool. So, shout out to Mischief Brew over there on Rokfin, one of the best, if not the best, platform around for content creators to get monetized and not get censored heavily, like YouTube. So, yeah, it's constant dope streams today. Absolutely, Nuba. 100% shout out to those over on the Rokfin. Let's see who has made it over to the YouTube side. Assuming my Mac will let me, and it will. Awesome. Okay. KC Industry, what is up, my friend? You're going to want to see me over on TikTok if possible. I know that you've been recently banned, so I don't know if you're even able to, but I'm going to go ahead and try to dive into there just a bit. We're not going to spend all of our time there, though. We're definitely going to, let's see if a Globy can actually present anything intelligent. That's right. Excellent takes, as always, from you legends. So, the way that we're going to do this is going to be pretty cool. I'm going to go one of two ways. The first way, I still have my backup. Awesome. Yeah, bro, you're going to want to jump on. I'm actually debating what to do right now, so we'll go ahead and do an audience poll, and you guys go ahead and let me know what you guys would prefer. Option one, I start my own live, and we see what Globies come in and really hammer it down to them. Or two, we can go into other Globies' lives and see if we can spread some true Earth gospel. A bit quiet. It's probably just the way my microphone's turned. It's very sensitive. I can hear it much louder in the monitor now, so just let me know if the audio is good or not. That way I can make the proper adjustments. I appreciate my tech team. You guys are the real ones, making sure that this is a great show. Casey Industry votes go live on TikTok, and he holds a tremendous weight in his votes. So that's a lot. I have a live for you to join if you want. I'll send it to you. Nice. Heck yeah. Yeah, so it's going to be excellent. Okay. So yeah, obviously, because TikTok is a bit of a not very friendly, I'll just say for better language, it's not very good on the browser. It's actually impossible to use live features on the desktop unless you have like Studio, and then you can't even invite guests. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go live on my handy dandy phone right here. It's gonna be awesome because I'm gonna have all my backgrounds, got all the followers over there, and yeah, it looks like Andrew B wants us to start our own live as well. All right, everybody sounds on board with that. One last final poll. I'll give it 5 minutes, but I think that's the way we're gonna go. And yeah, if it doesn't work, whatever we decide, excuse me, we can of course always try the other thing. Gotta get me that Tribune tea, just regular black tea. All right. So, first things first. Where did you go? Just made this specifically for this. Boom. All right. In any case, I'm going to have to get on my phone. So, let's go ahead and load that up. This is my other monitor here. Sick. I had a vision of doing this way back in the day when I first started streaming, but we just did not have the tech to be able to pull something like this off, unfortunately. And we're very excited to give this a try, to say the least. It's been a long time coming. Okay. How am I going to get this situated? Right, like, This is the fun part. All right, cool. Sick. Should have thought about this beforehand, but hey, I was actually out all day long, so there wasn't much I was going to be able to do about that. Alrighty. Man, that shading's way different. Shoot. Nice and bright over here, kind of dark over here. What can you do? Oh well. Okay, guys. So it doesn't really matter. When I start the live over there, I'm going to go ahead and cut my camera over here because it's going to be weird and getting like double feedback and things like that. So I'm going to do a couple things. But before I do, I'm going to have to shout out this very generous donation from Sky's the Limit. This will, in fact, be a good show. Good vibes, my guy. Talking about truth. Never hurt nobody. Well... allegory of the cave, right? We are definitely stepping into the lion's den, so it should be interesting. We are going to have a lot of fun with it. I have it already pulled up over here, so I'm going to go ahead and you guys can enjoy the astronaut for just a moment while I locate the live over here on the browser and, yeah, get things going. Folks, before I do, I just want to remind everybody, just like Sky's the Limit has already generously participated in the show, we do appreciate that. All the donations are still going towards an even better setup, although we do appreciate the very generous donation made by Run Boston Bear. This Mac is leagues ahead of what I was working with. Runs very, very smooth. It's just there's a couple more things that we do want to make sure that we implement, and we are going to be moving towards a desktop, so that's just all there is to it. So we do appreciate all the donations. They're going to be going right towards that setup. More on that in a future show, so stay tuned for that. But there are 3 ways in which you can support. The first way, of course, is going to be the best way because it goes not only towards this show, but towards many other very awesome content creators, such as the Mellow Dome, Jaronism, Wits It Gets It. If there's not reason enough to go ahead and support, I can't really help you. But there is many, many more. The only way to know is to go. So create a free account, and you can check it out. And then if you're really about it, go ahead and support us all. It's only $15.99 a month. No big deal. Just the cost of like one dinner a month. And then we also have the 2 options down below, cashapp, MrTribune, and buymeacoffee.com. So go ahead and check those out. Check out the website, and you can have a super chat read live on the air. Super awesome. When we get down into like having the guests and stuff, I'm going to try to keep up with the chat, but folks, that is the best way to make sure that you get to ask the Globe your question because there's a lot for me to monitor here. So it's pretty much gonna. I'm trying to be a lot better at that. So in any case, let's go ahead and watch the astronaut. And as we travel into this next portal here, it's gonna be absolutely awesome. Okay. Here we go. I wish I had some music for you guys, but I play it all from YouTube because I haven't gone professional yet, I guess. Whatever you want to call it. YouTube has great music. Has pretty much all the music, so okay. All right, we already got some people joining the live. Now I just have to find it over here. Hey guys, welcome to the show. Welcome to the True Earth Debate. Excited to have you all join. It has been a little bit, but we are going to get things rocking and rolling here very, very soon. We just want to get those people up just a little bit more, and we got to get some Globers in the box. You know how it goes. So we over here at the Tribune Show are, of course, on the side of the True Earth. And if you guys can bear with me for just one moment, I'm actually in the process of getting this live to YouTube and Rokfin as well. What is up, effed up world? Yep, we are going to go ahead and get this going. So bear with me just one moment. Alrighty. Let's do Troubling Tribune. I got to search my own account. So sad. Perfect. Let's get it. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the True Earth Debate. I will be with you in just a second. This is going to be quite the show. We are going live on multiple platforms, YouTube, Rokfin, TikTok. So if you are on one and not all the others, then feel free to definitely check it out. It is going to be quite the show. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my microphone over for the folks over on YouTube and Rokfin. Can't believe I haven't done that already. You're going to hear a little bit of a delay, folks. That's why I'm letting you know. And so just pay attention to the now TikTok feed. And folks on TikTok, I'm, of course, going to be reading chats and questions from the audience over on Rokfin and YouTube as well. So this is going to be a super dynamic show. Let's go ahead and get to it. Huh. Where the heck did the audio go? 1 second. Troubleshoot issues. Oh, wait. I actually got to transition it. Oh, wait. I actually got to transition it. Alrighty. Alrighty. Here we go. So that's going to give me an echo if I keep paying attention to that. No music anyway, so folks in the chat over on YouTube, Rokfin, if it starts echoing, just let me know. And let me turn this down. This is horrifically loud. Boom. Echoing. How about now? Is it still echoing? Hello. Still echoing bad. No, looks like it's fixed. Oh, it's still. How the heck is that even possible? I don't understand that. Oh, it's still. How the heck is that even possible? Oh, there we go. I don't understand that. Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right, guys, we got the troubleshoot out of the way. I appreciate you guys hanging in there. Let's go ahead and get things kicked off. Lots of background noise, probably because I'm using this crappy thing. You know what? Sit tight just one more second. Let me switch headsets. Ooh, this probably sounds awful. One second, where is that adapter? Here we go. Alright, folks, I'm going to fix this. Here we go. All right. How is that? Let me go ahead and invite go ahead and do this sound check. I can't hear any background noise on my end, so yeah, it's probably just those headsets there. Alrighty. Sounds great. Very generous. I appreciate that. All right. Well, folks, welcome to the True Earth Debate. I know it has been a little bit. You've probably missed the Tribune Lives. We try to keep it very high energy, but very respectful. We try to keep good arguments coming. So we definitely want to encourage the globe believers, the true earthers, of course, to all come one, come all, join on in, and let's have a awesome conversation. For those who may not be aware, we are live right now over on multiple platforms. So we are on TikTok, we are on YouTube, and we are on Rokfin. So if you're curious to see how everything looks, go over and head on to the bio, and you can click my website and find all that. So really cool. Perfect. Alrighty. So, KC Industry, I know you wanted to come on. Curvature. Let's go ahead and get it. Don't be shy. Oh, let me change that grid thing. What the heck is that? Curvature Nope. It's like you're not connected. Or maybe I'm not connected.
What up, what up, what up, what up? Did that live just get taken down, Curvature Nope?
I can't hear him at all.
Yeah, I don't think he's talking right now. I think he might be figuring out a headset deal or something.
On my side, it says invite, so it's like, I don't know if it actually went through or not.
Yeah, it came through on my end. Yeah, I got the invite, so that's why I joined.
I was talking to about Curvature Nope. Like, he obviously came on, but
Kick
I
him
don't know
and
if he went all the way through
let
on
him
my end.
request. Kick him real quick and let him request. It might be bugging.
No worries.
What up, dog? How's it going?
Dude, it has been a trip trying to figure all this stuff out, but it's going good. I'm looking at it over here on the OBS. It looks smooth as heck, so
Yeah, it was lagging a little bit. The video was lagging a little bit on TikTok, but it seems like it's chilled out now. So it looks like you're totally Gucci. You figured out the sound and everything. We're all good, ready to rock and roll. I don't know why you don't do this more often, bro. You should do this and then push people to your YouTube, bro. For sure. You should go on here and then like end the TikTok and keep it going on YouTube. Do something like that to push people to your YouTube channel, bro.
well, to
Because
be
your YouTube
honest,
debates are awesome. They deserve way more viewers.
I agree with you, and I think that YouTube's pretty good at shadow banning.
Yeah.
But the thing that I think is important to note is that there's a very real possibility that TikTok's going to be limited, at least in some capacity, in the United States.
Yeah, they'll probably sell. I think they're going to force them to sell to the U.S., and then the censorship is going to be way worse than it is right now if they do.
Yeah, it's
All right, we
classic.
good now?
You're good.
Perfect.
Loud and clear.
Awesome.
Awesome. Hold on, I had one more. Oh, never mind.
Man, I was bummed. Fucking Whitson's fucking debate got pushed off to members only.
What?
Yeah, I made 30 seconds into Whitson's introduction, and nope, members only video. I'm like, you son of a guns.
No. No way they moved Witsit's debate to members only that quick, bro. That's effed up, dude. It was a good debate. The
Was it?
PhD
Yeah.
Tony, yeah, it was pretty good. Well, kind of. The guy that he was debating against, dude, is just like act like normal Globers. They just imploding, just super emotional, just yelling over him. And Witset's a nice guy, and he likes to show that they're really emotional. So he just let him talk over him a lot of the time. I was screaming at the moderator in the chat the entire time, like, dude, moderate. Like, what am I listening to right now, bro? Because this dude is like 60, 70 years old and has no impulse control, like worse than the worst that you can think of on TikTok. It was pretty bad, but it's probably worth the $5, bro, to be a member with them. But I didn't realize that they did that, bro. That's messed up.
I will let you guys know that it's actually better for the live if you have your camera on, because right now
For
it's just
sure.
has it like blocked out. But if you have your camera on, it'll actually show something there and fill out the screen. So
I'm in darkness, so
Yeah, I'm chilling in bed right now. I might turn the camera on, but I kind of just wanted to come in here and chill and chat and see what
no
the people
worries,
said.
no worries. Yeah, let's see what we
There you
get.
go.
Hopefully we get some. Hopefully we get some Globers here soon. My audience is eager to see a coherent Globe debate.
as I say,
Yeah, good luck with that.
We were in Goku. I don't know if you guys come across Goku before, but we
I
were
have
in his live having a conversation with Globy and Level and somebody named themselves moderator or something.
Dude, that dude was driving me nuts. The Matt dude. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I wanted to scream, bro. That's why I didn't request to join because I can't talk to that dude where he's just like, oh, we can talk about gravity down to the atom. Like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to join, but I'll just scream, bro. That dude was bothering me.
But yeah, I was tripping. Like Goku's live ended,
Yeah.
everyone got kicked out, and
Yep.
then I was like, all right. So I just started flipping around on my phone, just checking different apps and stuff, checking notifications, and I could talk to Globy. Wasn't even in the app, but somehow we were still linked, and I,
Oh,
I was
a
like, who the
pleasant.
hell is this?
That's pleasant, isn't it?
It was odd. But
Love to
yeah,
talk to Globy.
he said he saw
Fun.
Tribune was on, and he said he was going to come in here.
Globy did?
Yeah.
I debated Globy today, dude. It's a load of fun. Load of fun. Very,
you
yeah.
can you can expect if he says he's going to come in if he hasn't drank too much, he'll probably come in. But
Right.
I'm
No,
just
can
messing
you
around.
guys help me with something?
Yeah.
So in the heliocentric model, my understanding is at the equator, rounded down 1,000 miles an hour
Yep.
at the equator.
Hmm.
And then if you go north or south, go away from the equator, that speed's gonna diminish.
Yep.
And eventually get to the pole, you're at zero. So just right about, I obviously don't have the number, but say in the States, maybe 800 miles an hour,
Yep.
maybe all the way up in Alaska, maybe 300 miles an hour.
Something around there. You're really close. I know that you're accurate on their model around the United States, but I wouldn't know exactly the latitude lines once it gets more northern, like to the exact. But yeah, you're pretty
But
close there, I'd say.
that's true. That the speed does change as you change.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, my basic tried riddle, I suppose, at this point is how does a plane take off from Alaska and
Hmm.
magically gain the speed to land on an airport at the equator?
Yeah, well, the good question to ask these people is why don't they account for the spin flying north to south at all? Why do they admit that they don't account for it? And they say that the wind is more effective, it's more of an effect than the Coriolis effect. Supposedly, wind is like it's literally a joke. That's why they simulate when they do their documents. That's why they simulate a flat and stationary Earth
Yeah.
because all
And then
pilots fly like it's a flat and stationary Earth.
and I've heard everybody argue that no, a helicopter cannot raise up and just wait for its destination to arrive.
Yep,
It's actually
but
got to
the Earth
float.
spins under bullets.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing is the Foucault's pendulum. They try to explain, oh, that's representative of the Earth's motion,
Hmm.
but that thing's attached to the Earth. But you're going to tell me a helicopter that disconnects from quote unquote the Earth
Yep.
doesn't like.
Well, they say
Doesn't
it's
that-
still pushing off the ground. I've had them tell me that the helicopter is still pushing off the ground. And I'm like, okay.
Okay.
It's funny, just it's hard. Like sometimes I get pissed listening to them because it's like you gotta know you're not making sense when you're saying shiz like that. Like you have to know you're not making sense to say that the Earth spins under bullets that are in the air for a second, but it doesn't spin under hot air balloons that hover for hours. Doesn't spin under helicopters. Planes don't have to account for the spin of the Earth flying north to south or east to west. They fly over the plane, the aeroplane over a plane like it's a stationary plane. Like, I don't even know how they do it, bro. I don't know how they do the mental gymnastics that they do.
Hate to
Right.
interrupt you, Casey, but I just want to shout out Nuba over there on the Rokfin with the $5 tip. Huge shout out. We appreciate
What a
you.
legend. What a legend.
Legend.
Yeah,
Oh, and definitely give a shout out to Weiss. I got the trivia update for the app today.
Shout out
Epic.
Weiss for putting my
Oh, we said
YouTube
his
video
name
as
3
featured. He
times.
featured my
Shit.
YouTube video on his app today, too.
Oh, it's awesome.
Like a super
What
villain.
up,
We said-
Globy?
we said his name 3 times.
You got
Yeah, I got spies all over.
I'm sure you fucking do, bro.
They all work for NASA.
Yeah.
It's like TikTok totally
do.
doesn't just tell you when people are live, but
No, they don't at all. Shh, don't use that excuse. Not at all.
What's your best
No,
proof the Earth's
I've
a
seen
ball,
your
Globy?
monkeys be like, I'm gonna go tell Globy this, and I'm like, go tell him.
I want to talk about the stars because you've been talking about them for days in lives. My
I don't want to
spies
talk
tell
about
me.
the sky. Let's talk about the terra firma below our
No,
feet.
let's
We're
talk
not
about
looking
the
up into the
stars,
sky
'cause
right now.
I'm going live
Of course,
tomorrow.
you want to look at the sky.
I'm going live tomorrow at 2 p.m. to do an observation from Australia and South Africa at the same time. And we're going to go look and see which direction we see the stars. And guess what we're going to see? We're going to see the stars looking the same direction on a compass from both those locations.
Are compasses accurate in the southern
Yes.
hemisphere? Oh, really? If I sent you a lot of sources that showed exactly the opposite, what would you think of that?
Yeah. Go send me some sources that say ships haven't sailed using compasses in the southern hemisphere for years and years. GPS and compasses, Google Maps on your phone doesn't work in Australia or Africa or South America. Go show me those references, Casey.
They literally admit this. Mainstream science.
No, they don't
admits that
literally.
they're- Okay, talk over me, bro. You gonna start the debate like this, bro? You just gonna talk over me when I'm about to make a point?
Okay, you make a point.
Impulse
Well, you're
control.
lying. So
Impulse control.
boys, before we move on, I just want to go ahead and point out that I have implemented the True Earth Debate rule behavior
Yep.
code.
Yep.
So, you know, this will
Globy's
pretty
gotta
much be
follow
the well, yes, absolutely, and everybody. I expect everybody to follow this. It's very simple.
Yep.
Don't be an arse. No interrupting. Don't beat a dead horse. And my show, my rules, so they're dynamic. I will change them as need be. But
that
I'm
last
pretty
one's
fair.
unfair.
I've always been fair. That's just in case I haven't thought of something.
You need a gavel to hammer down, damn it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, with that, go ahead and continue.
Yeah, compasses are not accurate. They admit that there's anomalies with the geodynamo model in the southern hemisphere. This is well known by mainstream science. So claiming that all compasses are accurate, even with your observations, they're going to be very southern latitudes. So the
Nope.
more southern, the more south you get from the center of the Earth, the less of the magnetic perturbation is able to reach there. Hence why they'll literally, I was reading an article yesterday because I've been studying this because I knew that you were going to do this. And they admit that compasses can be completely flipped the wrong direction. They're so inaccurate down there.
They're talking
There's
about
something about
in,
angular deviation.
they're talking
Yeah,
about in,
yeah.
in Antarctica.
No, they're not.
As you get close to the
You
poles, the
haven't read the
compasses
paper, so why are you saying what the paper says?
compasses don't work very well at the poles. Because
There's
you're
no
right
such
at the
thing as the South Pole. That's a reification
Okay.
fallacy.
well, there is, but let's use the
No, there's
North
not.
Pole as an example. The compasses don't work very well when you're near the pole, the magnetic pole. That has
No.
nothing to do with compasses working in Australia.
gosh, bro. It's like I hope that you like don't know the mainstream narrative around the anomalies
Don't
around the
start, Casey, because
Hey,
now you're ad
whoa, the
homing.
rule is not interrupting. I didn't interrupt
Ad
you.
homing.
Whoa, I'm not. No, I'm not ad homing. It's not an ad hom if I articulate an argument against you and then add an ad hom. That's actually not a logical
You're
fallacy, by
just,
the way.
yeah, it is. You're just saying I don't understand something. So explain to me
Yeah,
how
you don't.
compasses don't work in
That's what
Australia.
all your
Go
I
ahead.
don't have to
videos are
explain
about,
it to you.
Globy.
Mainstream science will explain it to you in scientific papers. They will
Show me the
admit
paper
that
then.
they're. Hold
Cite
on.
me the
Let me
paper.
calm down. Hold on, buddy. Calm down. Why are you getting mad?
I'm in front of a computer. I can look it up.
So they admit that there is anomalies in the geodynamo model in the southern hemisphere. Do you know, Tribune? Is it the transatlantic anomaly or something like that? I can't remember the exact anomaly, but there's like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, I'm
And
not.
And they admit that the accuracy, just Google, are compasses accurate the more south you go on the Earth
just like I said,
in the
the
southern
closer you
hemisphere?
get to the poles, the less the more interference you get.
Is Australia close to Antarctica?
No,
Oh my gosh. Bro.
it's in the southern hemisphere. Just like Africa is, just like South
Yeah, so
America
you would
is.
admit relative to the, continents being away from each other, it's pretty close to the Antarctic wall, right?
It's no closer than Canada is to the North Pole, and compasses work in Canada.
Oh my gosh, bro. The North
Don't
Pole
oh my
is
gosh me. You're claiming compasses don't work in the
impulse
southern
control.
hemisphere, dude.
Impulse control. Globy, we can have a cool conversation, buddy. We can have a good one. But the North Pole, the reason that compasses are so accurate at the North Pole is because the magnetic perturbation that we are experiencing on the Earth is coming from the center of the Earth. So as you get further away from that magnetic perturbation, it gets less and less accurate. So relating Australia to Canada is completely false and not accurate, and it perfectly explains that you don't understand this.
It perfectly explains that you just made up something that something's perturbating from the center of the flat Earth.
Okay. Let me get you some stuff.
Yeah, get me some stuff.
Anybody else want to talk to Globy, or is it just going to be me and Globy debate? Tribune, you want to jump in? What's going on?
No, because the whole point is your claim that compasses don't work in the southern hemisphere. So you need to prove that claim.
Yeah, give me a second.
I usually take it point by point, just to be honest with you. But yeah, I think you guys are having a great conversation so far. I believe it was something, and with this, I haven't interjected because I haven't studied it super hard. Just being honest. So, but I have heard that it's some like 30% variation in the southern hemisphere. So that would need some explaining.
Hey, I have 2 quick points I'd like to talk to anybody about, just a thought experiment.
It's called magnetic deviation. Look it up.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. It just got lower all of a sudden.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to just kind of switch lanes a little bit, and then you just kind of tell me what you think. One of my points was, so the moon is 181st or 180th about the mass of the Earth. And so my question on it is, as the moon is orbiting the Earth, it's got to slow down and speed up at certain points of its orbit. And so I looked into its orbit, and its orbit deviates 12 to 13%, as it swings around. So it's not perfectly circular; it's just slightly like oblong. And I go, okay, well that makes sense, since the mass of the moon is 1/80th of the Earth. It's, if you weigh 150 pounds, it's like you having 1 pound swing around you, a couple pounds swing around you. It's not going to have much effect on you. But then at the same time, somehow the mass of the moon is able to control the ocean's tides. Does that make sense?
I don't know. Is that a question?
The question is, if the moon doesn't have enough mass to have an oblong orbit around the Earth because it having to slow down and speed up, how does it have enough mass to control the tides on the Earth?
I'm not sure what the mass has to do with its oblong orbit.
Wasn't
the
gravity
mass,
determined by mass?
just the gravity, the you know how gravity works. It bends space time, and so if you were to have a heavy ball on a trampoline and it bends space time, which would be Earth, then the moon would be orbiting around Earth, and that bend in space time of gravity should create an oblong orbit around the Earth, which it doesn't have. It's almost perfectly circular, and I justified that with its mass, its weight being less 1/80th that of Earth.
Well, it's
But
not
then at the
circular.
same time,
It orbits in an oblong shape. So I'm not sure what you mean.
it's about 12%.
Okay.
It's 12% deviation, so it's not much. It's pretty circular, but there is a little bit of an oblong to it. But my point is, it's such a light weight, it's not that much mass, that how does it have so much control over the Earth's waters, the high tide, low tides?
Well, you could just plug that stuff into Newton's formula for gravity, the force of gravity, big G mm over r squared. You put the two masses in, the mass of the moon and the mass of the oceans, and you'll see the pull between the two is quite large.
Why does it not
You
affect
think it has more to do with velocity than mass?
Mm,
I'm just a general
No.
question. I'm just kind of
The pull of the oceans wouldn't be the velocity. No, it'd be the mass of the moon.
Okay.
Yeah, just the two masses. The mass of the moon and the mass of the oceans are very large. So that's why there's a pull between the two. I'm not sure what it has to do with the oblong orbit, as you're saying, but
Well, let's pretend that the mass of the moon was heavier. It had more mass to it. It was a heavier attraction between the Earth and the moon. Then, as the moon is orbiting the Earth, as the Earth is traveling through space chasing the sun, the moon would have to slow down and speed up. And if there was more mass behind the moon, it would slingshot around the Earth, and the mass would cause the slingshot effect to be more drastic. It would be super oblong because of the mass of the moon. But the moon doesn't have that much mass compared to the Earth, so I can justify that there's only a 12% deviation on the orbit, if that makes any sense. So I'm just thinking, okay, so if the moon's orbit can be that circular, then the effect on Earth shouldn't be too much to be able to control the oceans as much as it does, essentially, is what I'm saying.
I don't know, man. A lot of assumptions there, I think, in your model, in your thoughts there.
Yeah, it's just like I said, it's just.
First off, things aren't chasing, like the Earth's not chasing the sun. That's a misnomer.
Is it not being
You know,
pulled through space
it's
at 500,000
it's orbiting-
miles per hour, supposedly?
It's orbiting the sun. It's not chasing the sun, trying to
No,
keep
isn't
up.
the
Sometimes
sun
it's
your
in.
model?
Isn't the entire solar system
That's
moving?
that's not your model.
It is my model. Sometimes the
No.
Earth is actually in front of the sun. It's not
No.
chasing the sun.
Can you
Casey.
prove that? Wow, that's an
The
incredible
sun isn't
claim. Can you
stationary,
prove that?
though.
You brought it up. I didn't bring it up. You said that's not my model. I'm correcting you on what the model is.
No, the
Well, I've
model
been
is
taught
that the
your
sun.
model's the Earth's moving everything.
No,
The entire
The model
solar
you're
system's
talking about is that
flying.
animation you've seen online with everything chasing everything and
Okay, let's
spiraling.
walk him through it. So
Do you
how
know
fast does the solar system move?
Do you know a
How
flat
fast?
earther made that animation?
So it doesn't move?
How fast does the Earth
Is that your
spin?
statement?
That animation is not an accurate representation of the model.
Hold on, guys.
That's an
Let's
accurate
walk him through this.
representation.
He's trying.
You don't
he's
need to
trying
walk me
he's trying to walk
through
away with it.
specifics.
No. Let's hear if you even know. How fast does the Earth spin at the equator?
15 degrees per hour.
No, in miles per hour, Globy. In
Why would you
miles per
want?
hour.
Why would you want a linear velocity? It's like
No,
1,060
the
miles per
sky
hour. So what?
rotates sidereally 15 degrees per hour. The Earth
The Earth
doesn't
rotates
spin.
15 degrees per hour, as proven
No.
by laser ring gyroscopes.
Why didn't the Sagnac effect prove that?
It did. That's called a laser ring gyroscope.
No, when a Sagnac effect is completely stationary, there's no fringe shift. Do you know that?
Yeah, you're just saying things now, Casey.
No,
The
you're
laser-
not understanding what I'm saying, so you're saying I'm just saying things.
You are, because the laser ring
No.
gyroscope uses the Sagnac effect to measure that displacement of the light.
So when it's stationary, why doesn't it pick up the spin of the Earth? So what you're saying is, if
It
it is
does.
picking, hold on, no, what you're saying is, if it is picking up the spin of the Earth, you'd be able to take it to specific different latitudes, and the friend shift would be completely different. When we do this, this doesn't happen. This is proven by the Michelson-Gale-Pearson experiment, as well as the Sagnac effect, as well as there's another one that I can look up right now that proves that we would actually see linear motion as well, proving that the Michelson-Morley experiment should have picked up a friend shift of the Earth going 66,616 miles an hour around the sun.
You're talking about the orbit of the Earth around the sun, Caleb.
So I talked about the spin of the Earth first, and then I started to talk about the orbit of the sun.
And then you switched.
All of them are admittedly negligible. They're not able to be perceived, hence why all actual physicists admit this. Do you realize that there are hundreds of physicists that have admitted this, and you're the only one on here claiming that we can detect this?
I am not the only one doing this. This is a known thing. You could look it up right now. Laser ring gyroscopes. Caltech did it a few months ago.
Yeah, and they didn't pick up the rotation of
yes,
the Earth.
Yes, they 100%
There's not a
did.
friend shift necessary to prove the Earth is spinning.
Yes,
Do you know what Mach's
the Sagnac
principle is?
effect. So the Sagnac effect is sensitive enough to pick up the Earth's rotation around its axis.
Yeah,
but
it's
not,
sensitive
but
enough,
not
and
enough
it
to pick up
doesn't.
but not enough to pick up the Earth's rotation around the sun, because it takes an entire year for one rotation.
It's 66,006. Holy dude. No way you're doing this right now, Globy. You're not doing this live, bro. Somebody's got to be filming this, right? Are you recording this? Can you send me this after this, Globy? So what you don't understand is the Sagnac effect does not pick up a friend shift when it's stationary. Do you realize that the Sagnac effect experiment is on a rotating apparatus? So what they did, Globy, they realized when they turn on the lights, there's no friend shift. And then they start spinning the apparatus of the Sagnac effect experiment, and they get a friend shift, proving that motion creates a friend shift, proving that we probably should have seen a friend shift in the Michelson-Morley experiment when we're shooting a light wave with the motion of the Earth around the sun and then one perpendicular to it. But guess what? Nobody did. And that's the entire reason that special relativity and general relativity were created in the first place.
So thank you for admitting. So, yes, I did know all that. So thank you for admitting that I was right. And I'm going to explain to you why I'm going to explain that to you right now. Yes, because you said the apparatus needs to be.
What I said earlier about the straw man thing.
Yeah, you pick up a friend shift from rotation, right? You just said that yourself.
Yeah, from rotation of the apparatus, exactly.
Right. So a laser ring gyroscope, as it's rotating around Earth, because the Earth is rotating, it picks up a 15-degree drift.
Yep.
That's the Sagnac effect that we're talking about.
Okay. Yeah, I know exactly. I know all this, Obviously, hold on. Obviously, I know all of this. Do you know what Mach's principle is? Do you know what the Machian principle is?
Before you change subjects.
No, it's not. It's on the same subject. Just because you don't know what it is, it's not a different subject. It completely relates to the 15 degrees that you're picking up through gyroscopes, and as well as the precession of the Foucault's pendulum.
Okay, so
what's the Mach's principle?
No, go through it. Then you tell me.
No, tell me. Admit you don't know what it is.
I don't know what Mach's principle is off the top of my head. So go ahead, tell me.
Mach's principle, in the gist, if we're gonna simplify it, it's essentially that there would be a translation. Do you want me to read the quote? Did you not see my video? No,
I don't watch your videos, Caleb. You have me blocked.
I know you have other accounts. I know you're seeing them, bro. Come on, don't act like that, Globy.
No, I don't go to your page.
Einstein, in a letter to Ernst Mach in 1913, talked about if there was a shell-like structure over the Earth, like the firmament acts as a dome that was moving at 15 degrees in a sidereal rotation, like the stars are doing. He admits in a letter to Ernst Mach in 1913, saying that there would be a translation of motion down to the Earth, and we would be able to perceive that through the Foucault's pendulum, literally admitting that's why the Foucault's pendulum could be precessing.
That sounds like a hypothesis that was never tested or proved, Caleb.
You're just saying nuh-uh.
I'm not it's a principle.
Einstein
you just said it was
admitted
written
that. So are you
just said
saying
it was
that
written
Einstein
in a
and
letter.
Ernst Mach were wrong?
You just said it was written in a letter.
Yeah,
That's supposed to be proof of
he
something?
said that you have to take it into account for general and special relativity, bro.
Yeah.
You were acting like, hold on, let me just, for everybody in the chat, Globy is here acting like he's an expert on the shiz when he didn't even know what Mach's principle was. You admitted
Yeah,
that
I've
on
heard
this
that
live
before.
that you're recording right now.
Yeah, I've heard
And
that
you're
before.
just saying,
Casey.
no, that wasn't proven, even though you literally just admitted that you didn't know
Casey,
what the
Mach's
hell it
principle
was.
is not an experiment. It's not a theory. It's not a law. It's not anything. It's a letter. You just quoted a letter written to Einstein from Mach.
I can send you, bro, to
Yeah,
say
send
that
me
it's
the studies that
Mach's
show me
principle.
that.
I have a PDF right here from
Okay.
www.ias8.ac.in explaining the Mach's principle, an entire 11-page article of science admitting that they literally they use this. This is what explains gyroscopes processing, bro. Like,
Who's
this
they?
is mainstream science. No, your mainstream
You guys love
scientific
saying
consensus.
mainstream science consensus. You guys love saying that when you have no support for
Because
your
we're
mainstream
using
science.
your science against you, bro, and disproving your
No,
model.
you're
buddy.
not. You think you are. That's the
You
problem
don't know
here.
what Mach's principle is, buddy.
Mach's
So
principle
saying that it's
isn't
been
a
disproven
thing.
when you haven't looked at that shows your ineptitude to have logical conversations when you're saying, "Oh, that was just in a letter, bro." When I can cite you scientific papers completely explaining
Pull it up.
Mach's
Let me
principle.
cite it.
Maybe
Cite
you
it.
should
Let's
do
pull
a
it up.
little bit. I already did. IAC.ac.in/article/full-text/reso/016/04/0310.
Yeah,
That's the
I'm going
website.
to type that in right now. Ridiculous.
And then maybe it's going to take a little bit for you to understand the paper, so maybe you should read over it and not act like you're an expert on the topic.
I'll go read it if you can tell me what the mechanism for translating movement from the firmament down to the Earth is.
Maybe it's translating through the magnetic field. Maybe it's translating through the
Maybe,
electrostatics in
Maybe.
the air.
Maybe.
That's how hypotheses are.
I thought this was like a law you were quoting me here. That's a known scientific principle.
It's a principle. It's Mach's principle.
Yes, which means it's
So
nothing.
you're ignoring that Einstein's admitting that this happens in reality. You're
Einstein did not
right?
admit that's happening in that.
He admitted it
guarantee
in you haven't seen the letter. You're again.
I guarantee Einstein didn't admit the firmament is translating energy down onto the Earth.
Okay.
Guarantee.
Let me send the quote to my girlfriend. Let me get it onto a different phone and let me just read it to you, since you have the ineptitude to try to logically understand what I'm trying to say, and you're just saying, "Oh no, that's been debunked," but I can't tell you how that was debunked. So give me a second. Somebody else can talk to Globy for a second.
A laser ring gyroscope works off the
precession
Sagnac
of the
effect.
sidereal rotation of the firmament at 15 degrees.
Right. Yeah. So a stationary gyroscope on the Earth picks up the rotation of the firmament in the sky. Yes. That's what you just said. And you said that's mainstream and that's science.
I'm saying that because Einstein said that.
Einstein never said that.
Yes, he did.
Wow. That's actually okay.
Bro.
You can spit into your phone all you want, but
so Mach's principle, just to give you just a little bit of background on it. The reason why it's funny that you say that Einstein wouldn't have used that is Einstein. It says it's right here in the, what is this? Sorry, my phone's blocking it. Britannica.com. I'm in the encyclopedia. Britannica, talking about Mach's principle in cosmology, the hypothesis that is experience by a body in non-uniform motion are determined by the quantity and distribution of matter in the universe. That's how they defined it here. Albert Einstein said that he found the hypothesis helpful in formulating his theory of general relativity, and was suggestive of a connection between geometry and matter, and attributed the idea to Mach.
Sorry, Tribune. I just really want to read this quote to Globy. He really needs to hear this one. You can finish.
It's your point. No, it's your point. Go ahead.
Okay, let me read it real quick, just so my girlfriend can have her phone back. So, here's the letter from Ernst Mach, from Einstein to Ernst Mach in 1913, translated from German to English. If one accelerates a heavy shell of matter, then a mass enclosed by the shell experiences an accelerative force. If one rotates the shell relative to the fixed stars about an axis going through its center, a Coriolis force arises in the interior of the shell, or quote-unquote, the firmament. That is, the plane of the Foucault pendulum is dragged around. or the gyroscope is dragged around at 15 degrees.
And what is the source
Mic
of this
drop.
letter?
Einstein, bro, Einstein wrote the letter. People got their hands on the letter. They photocopied the letter, and then they translated the letter.
No offense, KC, but I've seen endless lies from you guys, so I'd like to see the source of that letter
cool.
first
Yep,
off.
just say nuh-uh. Just say nuh-uh. Cool, bro. Nice.
Would you
Okay.
accept an Encyclopedia Britannica source to start your research?
Completely destroys your
Well,
argument.
I just
Don't bring
read
up Foucault's
Wikipedia.
pendulum ever again, or Ling razor gyroscopes.
That doesn't destroy anything, Caleb.
If it was valid, okay. So if I were to prove to you,
You
that
have
it
to
was,
test it and
okay,
prove
talk
it
over.
and show it's true.
If I were to do that, would you retract all the crap that is coming out of your mouth right now?
Do what? Test it and prove it to be true?
If I was to show you that, holy dude, you are something else, Globy. If I were to show you that this is provable, that it was from a letter from Einstein in 1913 to Ernst Mach, the guy that wrote the principle or the theory of relativity and the theory of special relativity, the entire basis for all of physics right now, and he's admitting that he had to take in Mach's principle into account to write the general theory of relativity. If I showed you all of these things are real, would you retract the nonsense that you're purporting, that you're perturbing out of your mouth right now?
No, I would retract that. I said the letter probably doesn't exist, but that's it. It's still
So you would just still
just
deny
words.
Mach's principle. It's not just words, dude. You can't be serious.
From Einstein, right?
This is how,
This
Caleb,
is your
do
dude.
you understand how science works, Caleb?
Why are you switching topics right now, Globy?
I'm not switching topics.
We're
You're
talking about Mach's
referencing a
principle,
letter.
Globy.
You're referencing a letter supposedly by Einstein that says there's a possibility that he believes this is possible. That's not science. Even if it does exist, that's not science.
Well, gravity's not a law either, buddy. It's a theory. So is gravity fake now?
So now you're changing subjects.
No, I'm just using your ineptitude and your illogical arguments against you. So
Well,
if
no,
everything
so
has to be a fact, then gravity's not real either, Globy.
Gravity's been tested. Gravity's been
No, gravity's an agreed upon average. You can replace the
No.
little g with a.
gravitational acceleration is agreed upon average.
Yeah,
I
why
wasn't
does it
talking about
fluctuate
that.
during rainstorms, lightning storms, and thunderstorms then? Like literally
causal.
proving that it's electrostatics more likely than your bendy space-time or Newtonian gravity.
It's not proving it's electrostatics. Because during a lightning storm, the polarity reverses, and everything would go flying up if it was a thunderstorm.
No, you would have wow, you actually believe what you just said?
Yeah, you know
That
how
everything
lightning
would
bolts
go
work?
up during lightning storms? Do you know how
Yeah.
much positive charge you would have to add to something to make it reverse and go up? Do you know why when people get struck by lightning storms, that's why they jump? That's why they go up?
Yes, because lightning goes from the ground to the sky, Caleb. It reverses polarity.
Prove bendy space-time. How is space and time physical?
Wait. I want to go back to you not understanding how
No,
lightning
don't
works.
run. Don't run. How is space-time physical, bro?
Wait. You know how lightning works, Caleb?
Yeah, there's an
Okay.
increase in electrostatic charge in the air, and it gets to a point where it's so much that it has to discharge to the Earth as a negative. The Earth
Nope.
is admittedly 500,000 coulombs to the negative side
Wrong.
of the spectrum. Wrong? Google it right now. Google it
Yeah.
and show your screen. How much negative charge is there to the Earth? You're just saying
Yeah.
nuh-uh, bro.
bunch
You're
of
so
nuh-uh.
unbearable. You're like the worst debater at this, bro, by the way. That's why Witsit won't probably give you the time of day, because you suck at debating this, bro. Straight up. You're just saying
This is
nuh-uh
what
to
people
everything
who
that I'm
lose
saying.
say, Caleb. This is what losers
No,
say,
people
Caleb.
that lose say nuh-uh. Like
lightning
you're saying
goes
right now.
lightning goes from the
Why are you
ground up.
rebuttaling, though? You're just saying no. That's all you're saying.
And you totally said that the Earth didn't have a negative charge.
Yeah.
I did not say that.
You said
How
no
much
to
how
it.
much in
did.
coulombs derive the negative charge in Coulomb's law? How much
I said no to him saying
negative
lightning goes from
potential of
the
negative
sky
charge
down.
does the Earth have, Globy? How much does it have?
The Earth is
How much negative
overall
charge?
the Earth is overall neutrally charged.
Dude, you have lost your mind. You're not just saying what McToon said. And I disproved McToon on his live. He retracted that. You
didn't.
realize that, right?
No, you didn't.
What would you?
His whole
what would
chat
you,
was screaming at him. All of his moderators were screaming, Caleb's right on this one, that the Earth is negatively charged. Google it right now, bro. Google,
Google
is the
it.
Earth negatively charged?
I did Google it. It has
What
an
does it say?
overall.
Read
It has an overall net
Bro,
neutral
you are
charge.
unbearable. Let me Google it for you.
I have it
Google
right here actually already.
Yep, yeah,
Earth's
pull it up.
surface.
Read it to him.
Earth's surface has
Google, while you're at it, Google is the Earth a globe?
Earth's
Hey,
surface
bro.
has a negative surface charge density of 10 to the negative 9 C
That's a
M
surface charge.
negative 2. What's the difference between the surface charge and the charge of the Earth?
Because you're asking about the overall charge of Earth. Earth's overall charge, 0.
Currently 1,800 A over the entire globe.
Okay, let me read. I searched how much negative charge is there to the Earth, and guess what I got, Globy? Guess what I got? The Earth carries a negative electric charge of roughly 500,000 coulombs, with the upper atmosphere having a fairly equal positive charge. Isn't that weird? Earth's overall search. How much negative charge is there to the Earth, Globy? Reword your question.
Why do I have to reword my question for what you want me to word?
Why don't you do it? What, are you scared?
Overall charge is 0.
Here, let me show you.
You can show me whatever you want, Caleb. I just Googled it for you.
So, Globy, maybe
Hold
you
on,
could
look at
just
my
clarify
screen.
then.
Look at my
What would be...
screen. How much negative charge is there to the Earth? The Earth carries a negative electric charge of roughly 500,000 coulombs. Thanks for playing, buddy.
So is coulombs not part of the charge equation that you're looking at, Globy?
You've lost your mind, bro.
I wonder whose Google search is correct. Let's argue Google searches now.
Yeah, let's talk about how you don't even know that the Earth is negatively charged. You just are literally parroting what McToon said, and he was completely wrong. And he admitted that he was wrong in the after show of our debate, bro. You need to catch up. You need to stay up to date with the debate.
Don't think so, bro.
You're far behind, Globy. You're literally the worst.
The
at
overall
debating this, bro.
charge
You
of
literally just
Earth
lie.
is close to 0. The electrical charge of Earth is 0.
Yeah, well, mine says that there's 500,000 coulombs of negative charge. So,
well, we can compare
reword
sources.
the question.
Next point.
Prove bendy space-time is physical.
Prove bendy space-time. No, I want to go back to what we started on.
Time and space are physical constructs that can be bent like a fabric of four-dimensionality into gravity wells. Can you prove that right now?
Let's go back to the first topic that we got sidetracked on.
Well, why are you running? Everybody, can we all recognize here that he's running away from that question like a little dog?
I'm not running. There's no point in talking
Prove
about
that
that.
space and time are physical things that can be bent like a fourth-dimensional fabric of space to create gravity wells. Can you prove that?
I don't have to prove that to you, Caleb. There's nothing to do with the shape of the Earth.
Just say, no, I don't have to prove it. It's a positive claim. It's a positive claim.
Did I come in here saying that? I don't have to prove anything to you.
So you don't believe
that has
that
nothing
time
to do with the shape of the Earth.
And can be bent. You don't believe
that has
time and
nothing
space
to do with the shape of the Earth. Let's go finish talking about how compasses don't work.
Everyone can see what you're doing right now, bro.
Yeah, what am I doing?
You're running away from the question of space and time being physical. That
question has no bearing on anything about the shape of the Earth.
Let me get my point out, and then I'll let you talk. We can be adults. Okay. Impulse control, okay? The current model for gravity, guess what? It's Einsteinian gravity. It's space and time being a physical fourth-dimensional fabric of space that creates gravity wells around big masses of objects that makes things go around the Earth and has to use literally dark matter and dark energy, and the current cosmological system that you believe in is 5% matter, and then the rest of it is dark energy and dark matter. So you have to invoke bendy space-time. I'm asking you to prove that space and time is physical because it's your current model of gravity that you believe in, buddy.
Cool, you done?
Go, prove it.
Okay, I can prove mass attracts mass, and that's enough for our conversation.
That's Newtonian gravity.
And Newtonian gravity exists.
Serious, bro.
Wait, Newtonian gravity doesn't exist.
So do you only accept Einsteinian gravity as only a hypothesis then?
Yeah.
No, I don't. But I also can't sit here and prove bendy space-time from my living room.
Fair.
So
that was case.
That's fair. You conceded that. There you go.
I can prove mass attracts mass, which is all we need to know, because on Earth, that's the
prove
dominant
mass
force.
attracts mass. Let's hear it.
Which room do you need to go to prove it? Like, can you go to the kitchen?
Your mom? I can go to your mom's room.
All right, guys, come on.
Okay, let's go Newtonian gravity then, since you're scared of bendy space-time and everyone can see that in the chat. Let's hear how mass attracts
I'm not
mass.
scared of it. There's no point in talking about it. You're bringing it up because it's a pointless conversation.
No, it's not pointless. It's your current model of gravity. I can't believe it's. Dude, tell me, you've got this recorded, right, Tribune, on your YouTube?
Oh, you got this recorded. Listen to Caleb the
I'll
baby.
be sure to. I will be reacting to this
Caleb
on the
the
YouTube,
baby.
brother. We'll be reacting to you again on the YouTube. It's gonna be awesome.
Hey, Caleb, why are you running from my 3-on-3 debate request?
I'm not running. Witsit is not getting back to me, to be honest with you. Witsit isn't hitting me back up. So.
Oh, okay.
So
I'd love to see that.
Do you think I'm scared of you, Globy?
Yeah,
I'm in
because
this
you-
live right
yeah.
now. I'm not scared of you, bro.
Yeah,
You're
because what
literally
you do-
horrible at debating.
What Caleb does is he blocks you, and he blocks me, and then he
I
unblocks me to
block you because you
comment.
screen record every
No,
live that
nope,
I do, bro.
nope.
It's freaking weird, dog.
No, I don't.
It is weird,
Yeah,
Bobby.
you do. You made like 4
People
videos
send me your lives,
consecutive.
dude. I don't record your lives.
You
People send them
record
to
your-
me when you
But
talk
then
Okay,
about
take
well,
them.
the
you're-
initiative to make videos on people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you make
Yeah,
video
it's
after
called
video
TikTok
on me, bro. It's
geniuses.
weird,
It's called
bro.
TikTok geniuses.
Do you see
So
me
this is what
making
Caleb-
videos on you? I would never platform your ugly mug on my platform, dude.
Yeah, you put it on YouTube. So this is
Yeah,
what
I'll
Caleb
put you.
does.
I'll clown you on YouTube. I'll never give you
He
fame
unblocks
on
me.
on
Wait,
TikTok. Nobody
wait,
should be seeing
hold
you.
on, hold
You're
on.
breaking
un-
them.
Hold on. I wanted to add, we attacked the argument. Not
I already
the person.
retracted that, bro. You can say that all you want. We already retracted that.
The
We said we're
argument,
not
not
going to
the
do that
person.
with you
Globy,
guys.
your kid's here.
You've been
Okay, so
attacking
I
people
wanted
for
to add
days. You
Okay, we're
called
not talking.
chaos.
Hey,
You called chaos a
Tribune,
drunk the
we're
other
not talking
day,
about the
dude.
shape of the Earth anymore, Tribune.
Okay, so I wanted to just add, Mach's conjecture was actually ruled out by general relativity because motion is not
No.
absolute, and you can look this up yourself.
No, it literally.
Look it up now.
Einstein
Look it up right
literally
now.
admitted
Look it up right
that
now.
they had
Look it
to
up
use.
right now.
Okay,
Don't
yeah, I'm
look
gonna
up right
back
now.
out
Don't
if we
take my
don't
word.
control
Well,
Globe Man right now.
Exploding already.
Don't take
Hey,
my word. Just look it up.
I
I was
can't
actually
look it up,
gonna-
bro. These two
Everybody
are,
needs
these
to
two
reel
are
it back in.
terrible
Look it up.
together.
Look it up. You
Everybody
had a
needs to
massive
reel it back
ego.
in.
Dude, we have been polite before, but you
I'm
had
looking
a
it up right
massive
now.
ego these past couple days, and I don't get it. You're telling people they need to
Yeah,
have
you
their
had a
kids
mass
taken
ego
away
too in
don't
your
like
lives
that
too,
he-
buddy.
You're
Like, what are
telling
you
people-
saying right
You're
now?
telling
Shut
people
up and talk
no.
about the shape of the Earth.
This is what happens. You're telling
Shut
people
up
they
and
need to
talk
have
about
their
the shape of
kids
the Earth.
taken
Your
away.
defense bendy space
You're
time, bro.
telling-
Nobody wants to
you're
hear your
telling
monologue.
people They need to have their kids taken
All right,
away.
let's get back to an argument. Let's figure out how these airplanes speed up to land on various airports as they trudge across this globe.
The conservation of momentum. They're already moving the same speed as the Earth when they leave it.
All right, right. In Alaska, they're moving a heck of a lot slower than the people in the equator. So that
Yes, but you're
airplane
moving
has
relative
to
to the ground.
magically gotta speed up
Dude,
and
chat, you
got
guys are
catch up with the
ridiculous, man.
airport.
So you no, hold on. I need to address this.
But,
You guys
but you're
are
moving
ridiculous.
zero relative to the
Like,
ground.
why would you ban Caleb for defending his position? He didn't do anything wrong.
Ad hom. That's why he did real ad hom.
He's
No,
been
he-
ad homing the
he
entire
retracted-
time,
no, He
Jay.
retracted that, and I'm sorry that
It
you're
doesn't
down
matter
with
if he
flour.
retracted
I don't
it,
know
he
what you
still
want-
said it.
Like, come on. We're having a debate here, all right? You need to tell your lackeys to calm down. That is not how you win a debate.
Jay, nobody controls any other human being. I don't know what you're talking
Well,
about.
just put a message out there. Hey, that's not what I want you to do. I want to prove my point.
I didn't kick Caleb, by the way.
I always do.
Nobody in the chat kicked him, so don't yell at us.
Jay, even when you're on
He
my
just
live, I tell
commented that
people,
he got
even if you
banned for
disagree,
bullying.
not to. I always tell people, just because someone disagrees doesn't mean to start trying to spam report them or anything.
Oh, wow.
He was
And I-
insulting people. That's
and
why
I
he
lo-
got in trouble.
They
I
removed
love
his
it.
live access.
Mach's principle was actually superseded by general relativity, as Globeman said.
And that's actually why it was called Mach's conjecture. It was a hypothesis, but once absolute motion was ruled out, it couldn't have been that case anymore. That was ruled out by general relativity. Don't take my word for it.
Globy, since your lackeys got rid of Caleb won.
Right, yeah, I know that's the rules, right?
By
What point did
default,
you prove?
unfortunately.
What point did you prove? Caleb proved a lot of points. What point did you prove?
Well, he proved he used an outdated principle to try to prove something, Mach's principle,
Oh, no, you're
which was
going
superseded by general
There's a lot of
relativity.
conversation, Globy.
Can Globeman, can you save me some time and shoot me a source so that I can, because I'm not finding it right away.
Yeah, literally, I just went through the Wikipedia page. The source is on the very bottom. It'll literally be for number one, literally the very first thing on the page. So it'll be the number one source at the very bottom.
Okay. He also
So you're just
said
on the Wikipedia. Got it.
he also said laser ring gyroscopes do not pick up the rotation of Earth, where they do, by the Sagnac effect. That is, I have papers on that right in front of me we can look at. Okay. He also said compasses don't work in the southern hemisphere, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Now, what he meant to say was there's magnetic declination. Okay. And that is a known effect, and that is actually mapped. You can look up the magnetic declination maps to correct your compasses for that. In Australia, where we were, I actually did this last year when I did it. It was like 10 degrees, maybe 7 degrees, something like that. So that means the compass is about 7 degrees off.
Dude, this tactic may work for your like indoctrinated chat, but it doesn't work for us. We all just heard the conversation. You lost that.
I don't think you guys heard the same conversation I did,
Okay.
to be completely honest.
Okay, I don't think you heard the same conversation.
That's fine. We can disagree.
So what part of what I just said is wrong? You're backing the compasses don't work in southern hemisphere thing? Is that what you're going with?
Oh, I'm dude, you just put words in Caleb's mouth, bro. You said that.
No, I didn't.
Magnetic.
The last thing he said was magnetic deviation before the topic changed.
Declination.
He said deviation. I said declination. Same thing. Yeah.
I said deviation.
Yeah, he said magnetic deviation, and I Googled it right before the subject changed, and he's talking about magnetic declination. And that could be corrected for, and that was corrected for. And it doesn't account for 180-degree change in viewer from flat Earth. Both those people in Australia and South Africa should not be looking south to see the Southern Cross at the same time. Magnetic declination does not account for that.
Sorry, I'm being quiet. I'm just reading this crap.
So we're.
It should be from something called the Fermi solution on like page 79. I think that's where it talks about it. And it's just talking about Mach's conjecture. That's what it was.
Because so far what I'm seeing is that the only issue with it is that it was so vague that they would try to attribute a whole bunch of phenomena to it, and then obviously not everything could be attributed as such. But I've not seen anything so far that said it's been debunked. I just see that it's a principle that's been revisited.
Yeah, it's still an open question. Like, that's the thing. Could it be? Like, the centrifugal force is absolutely a real thing, as real as we see gravity as, right? But it's just a hypothesis. It didn't make any specific predictions or anything like that, and that's the problem. It just was never taken to that next step.
So then it'd be more correct to say that it was tweaked than not that it was debunked?
Yeah, maybe debunked isn't the right word. It's been superseded. Is it still an open question that could maybe find its way into relativity sometime in the future? Sure, if some questions are answered, like how are the effects of things, distant from us and their rotation, how is that affecting us? Because with general relativity and the actual bending of space-time, it's supposed to have that drag, and that's kind of what that's leading into.
I'm just seeing things with it in reference to like space-time and things like that. So it's like it seems like it's already a part of the mix, but I'm just not that educated on it, just to be quite frank.
Yeah, and the issue is just like in relativity, if all motion is relative rather than absolute, how can we measure the inertia of the body? Right? That's kind of where the question stems from.
Hello guys, how you doing?
Globby, it's too bad that.
How's it going, Riz Walden? Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah, so guys, I've been watching for the last 30-40 minutes, and I thought I'd come on here and basically just answer all the questions that you've got raised and basically give the truth, regardless of whether it's for the globe side or for the flat earth side. So let's start off with the Southern Cross, yeah? So with regards to that, it's true, we have a circumpolar star at the southern hemisphere, which is Sigma Octantis. With regards to viewing the southern crux all facing south, that's not possible. You can view, if the southern crux was, say you're in South Africa facing directly south, you will see the southern crux directly south. But in Australia, you have to look southeast, and in Argentina you have to look southwest. So you're not looking in the same direction, but I agree that they're all in the south, which you can take that whichever way you want to take it. So you could either say that you're not looking in the same direction, or you can say that you are looking in the same direction. But
the only one that's going to be exactly the same every time is Sigma Octantis, because it's in the center. Well, pretty much. It's close.
Yeah, but with regards to the Southern Crux, Globy, do you agree that if the Southern Crux is directly south from South Africa, in Australia you have to look southeast, and in Argentina you have to look southwest?
No, it depends on the time of year and then the time of night you're doing it.
Okay, well,
like the first time I did it, it was south-southwest for both observers. It was just at different heights in the sky. It was at different
okay. So you trust in stellarium, don't you, Globy?
Yeah.
Okay, you can put Sigma Octantis any time of the year you want, directly south from South Africa. You will always look at it southeast from Australia, and always look southwest from Argentina.
Sure, dude. It was south-southwest during my observation when I did it for both.
Oh, so,
that's what stellarium said.
Yeah, sorry, I mean from Australia southwest and from Argentina it's southeast. I just got those the wrong way around. But what I mean is you're not looking south from either Argentina or Australia at the time of it being directly south of
oh, well, you're talking Argentina.
South Africa.
You're talking South America.
Yeah, I class all of that as Argentina basically.
Yeah.
But so what I'm saying is the point you're trying to what are you trying to prove with the Southern Cross experiment, that there's a South Pole star, or are you trying to prove that you're all facing the same direction? Because one of your claims is that on the flat Earth map that you can't look in three different directions. But the problem is you are looking three different directions.
Why is that?
Because if you wanted to claim that you're looking at the same direction, Argentina and South America and Australia would have to look south as well to see the Southern Crux, which they don't do.
Yeah, what do you mean they don't look south? You're very confusing me here.
Pull up stellarium.
Everyone looks south to see the Southern Cross, set in the southern direction.
Yeah.
So whether it's southeast or southwest for any particular country, doesn't matter. That would be over here somewhere.
Okay, so...
And it can't be over there and over here at the same time.
Okay, so draw a straight line down from South Africa now with your finger. You don't need to do any kind of advanced drawings. I'm just trying to help you out here to see the picture clearly.
Bobby, thank you for finding the most generic picture of flat Earth you could find.
That's South.
I'll be right back. Keep it civil.
I said from South Africa. Yeah, so that's south, and the Crux is directly south there, yeah? Now from Australia...
Right. No, tomorrow it's going to be southeast.
Yeah, what I'm trying to do is make it simple so that everyone can understand.
Okay, but, so say Sigma Octantis then, it's directly south.
The Southern Crux, let's say the Southern Crux, because that's the one that you're going to view, yeah?
Okay.
Now put your other finger on Australia. To view the Southern Crux from there, you would have to look southeast. And that is in line with that map. And it's also in line with the globe Earth model.
No. If I'm here looking at the Southern Cross over here,
yeah,
that's not southeast, dude. That's northwest.
Okay, so put your finger on.
That's the problem. This is north, right? This is north. That's south. So that is northwest.
Okay, let's just do this again. Which direction is south from Australia on that map?
This is the ice wall. Yeah. That's south.
Yeah, there's south. Now going towards the
so what's that?
South Africa. What direction is that?
Northwest.
No.
On this map.
Rotate your pen towards South Africa. What direction are you going?
Dude. Northwest. Do I have to turn my camera to you so this makes sense to you? Okay, that's north towards the center, towards the North Pole. Therefore, that is northwest.
Okay,
This is
we're
the.
talking about the longitude.
Wait, south spreads out from the middle.
I know that.
Okay.
If I drew a line from here to here, that's northwest. Are you guys disagreeing with that?
No, I'm just trying to understand your model there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Rich,
think
I
you're
mean,
getting
come on, Rich.
confused,
Why are we even
Globey.
arguing about this, Rich? That's northwest. It's not southeast. Like that would be
Globey,
southeast right here.
just forget about north and south for a second. Which direction is east and west?
It's around these circles.
There you go then. So which direction would you be going to go to South Africa from Australia in the east and west terms?
But you're just describing more problems with this map. I get what you're trying to do, but we're not doing that. We're standing here with a compass. So if we're standing here with a compass and the compass says we're looking southeast, which way are we looking?
We're looking to the left.
We're looking here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if we're holding a compass and we're looking northwest, we'd be looking this direction, not traveling, just looking.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is you would be looking southwest from Australia, which is the right direction on that map.
That's right here.
No. It's a diagonal line from Australia to South Africa.
You can't be serious, Chris.
Globey, I've done the maths on stellarium. I'm being serious.
No, I agree with stellarium 100%, but that's not what we're looking at with that flat map there.
Okay, so because I don't want to dwell on this too much, because I just wanted to answer a few of the questions, you're more than, you can pull up stellarium anytime when you get a chance, and we can discuss it later on, and I can show you on there. The next one was the compasses, with regards to compasses working in the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere, etc. Compasses do not work in Antarctica, 100% guaranteed. Yeah. With regards to working in Australia, South Africa, or South America, they work fine. At the equator, they work fine, and in the northern hemisphere, they work fine. But in terms of declination, you do not see declination on a compass, which means it fits a flat Earth model. With regards to the globe, the further you go away from the northern hemisphere, the compass should start bending down towards, the floor if it's level. That does not happen. I've tested this with 3 different people, with Ted Craig, who's one of your observers in Australia, with Max, who's in Aruba, and myself, obviously, in the UK. All of our compass being flat and level using the same compass, which is the Silver compass brand, which is a liquid filled compass. It does not bend downwards. It stays level and it measures the direction to north. So
how do you test it bending downward?
Okay, so in order for a compass to fit your globe model, let's take any generic compass, start off in the northern hemisphere. The moment you start going south, the further you go south, so by the time you get to the Australia or South Africa, your compass should be sticking to the ground and not working. Yeah.
It depends on a few things, but how did you test that with those people? They didn't go to the North Pole and travel south.
Hey, Trouble, thank you for having me, bro. I gotta go for a little bit. I might come back.
So no worries, man. Thanks for coming on.
Like Max in Aruba, would Max walk from one side of his island to the other?
Okay, so the equator is 90 degrees from the North Pole, yeah? Mm-hmm. So on your globe model, the needle for the compass should be pointing towards the North Pole and bending down. Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't do that. The compass is level and it works fine.
So they make compasses for the Southern Hemisphere, right? That are weighted differently, so they don't do that. If you're buying compasses in the Southern Hemisphere, you're most likely buying some Southern Hemisphere compasses, or they do make world compasses now.
No, I appreciate that. You have weighted compasses for the Northern and Southern Hemispheres. But what I'm saying is we all had generic compasses which work without having to be weighted. So what I mean is I could send my compass to Ted and Ted could send his compass to me and it would work fine. And it's not because they're weighted for either hemisphere or world compasses.
Oh, look, we got someone in Australia right now showing us how a compass works.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ted. Ted's going to be doing my observation with me tomorrow.
Yeah, Ted, show the bottom of that compass to Globy so he can understand.
Yeah.
Bring it close to the camera, mate. Underneath it. We need to see
Yeah, but it's
the
camera's
interfering.
It's all right. The camera's messing with the magnetism.
Yeah, no. We
doing.
don't want to see the direct. Ted, we don't want to see the direction. We just want to see underneath the compass needle. So if you just flip it around.
Are they? Yeah. Well, like, are they weighted underneath?
Sorry.
Flip it around, Ted. Turn it upside down.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah. So has it got circle dots on either needle? Ted.
That damn Australian internet.
Yeah.
I don't know what I can get.
I don't know. It's hard to tell what. I don't even know what we're looking for there.
Okay, so if it's a weighted compass, it'll have a round circle dot on either the south or the north pole. Has it got a round? I don't see a round dot on those one on that one.
Doesn't. I don't know.
Stellar.
All right. So point is, compasses work in the southern hemisphere. Hey, the argument that compasses don't work in the southern hemisphere is asinine and childish.
Yes, they do. Otherwise, I wouldn't know where the hell I was going.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I'm clarifying for you, I have stated that the compasses work anywhere in the continents that we go to. I'm just trying to be fair by keeping it honest for both sides. Yeah. So that's all I'm doing here. So
yeah, and what I said to Caleb is that when you get to the poles, they start to not work, and you clarified that as well.
Yeah, yeah. So I did say that in Antarctica they don't work, and in the North Pole they don't work. But with regards to everywhere else, they do work. But because you do not observe magnetic declination, that proves a flat Earth.
It doesn't prove a flat Earth. What does that mean? It proves a flat Earth.
I mean, a compass in general doesn't work on a flat Earth. Like, navigation with a compass wouldn't work. I can show what I mean if you want to see.
Okay, so there's two people in the ancient history who have discussed this topic before me, who raised it as a proof for flat Earth. They say that a ship navigating with a compass on a flat Earth can use the North Pole to direct it anywhere on this flat Earth. The moment you start doing a ship on a globe, it can no longer navigate using the North Pole because the compass needle will start bending downwards, and you do not observe that.
Okay, so here, I'll show what I'm talking about then. Let me flip my camera around. Okay, so we're just going to plot a straight line course. It doesn't matter if you agree with where the land masses are, just same basic concept, right? North in the center. So all we're going to do is plot a straight line course from right off the coast of Mexico to New Zealand. So what do we do with the compass, right? First of all, we have to decide what our heading is. So just as you said, north is towards the center, right? South is away from the center. So we set our heading, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but that number is 280. So that's what we're starting at. Now, in reality, you set your heading and you stay on it until you get to where you're trying to go. Okay? But what happens on a flat Earth? So now we've gone a little bit through our path, right? We're not on the starting point anymore, and we need to check our heading. So we're going to do the exact same thing here. North again towards the center, and south again just radially outwards away from that. Our heading has changed to 255 degrees. As we continue to go even more forward, hold on, it takes a second, right there. So now we're a little bit further in our path. Now we have gone to 230, right? So we can pretty much rule out user error because as we get to our location, now it's 215, using the compass as flat earthers say it should be used. That doesn't work, right? In reality, you set a heading, you stay on it till you get to where you have to go. On the globe, we don't have to adjust for north. North is one direction, south is one direction. It's not all the way around.
Yeah. But I think you're just confusing things there, Globeman. Basically, you would use the east and west longitude directions to help you guide on a flat Earth, with the north being the orientation point. The next question I wanted to discuss which was raised was the Sagnac effect and ring laser gyroscopes. So ring laser gyroscopes are able to detect large angular changes. Yeah, so we're talking 20, 30 degrees movement. To check precise movements of, like, the Earth's rotation, they need a pump inside of them in order to be able to do that. And so you could either take that two ways. You can either say that the pump is the thing causing the rotation of the Earth that you're discovering, or you can say it's actually working and discovering the rotation of the Earth. So I don't know what the confusion around the ring laser gyroscope was.
I mean, it's elicited by rotation, right?
Pardon?
There has to be something rotating. The Sagnac effect is elicited by rotation.
No, so what Caleb's point was is that in order for you to observe the fringe interference, you'd have to rotate the device in order to pick up the rotation. Yeah. The reason why the Sagnac effect doesn't pick it up is because it only detects large angular changes. Yeah. So when you spin something around, you're making large movements. When you've got it still, it's not going to make a fringe interference pattern because
Right.
it's
That's
rotating.
the Sagnac interferometer, right? That effect is elicited by rotation. If there was no rotation, we would pick up no shift. But since there is a
Yeah.
rotation, we do.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that for small rotations, you will not observe them.
What do you mean small? Like below?
Okay.
What is our threshold?
Like the Earth around the sun. That's a small rotation because it takes a year to go
Yes.
one time around.
Okay. So your 15 degrees per hour, you would not observe that with the Sagnac effect. The only way you'd
Absolutely.
observe that is having a pump installed on the ring laser gyroscope, which allows you to do that.
Pump?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean,
Okay,
what does a pump have to do with anything?
Pick up.
Okay. I've discussed this with you guys before, so that's the reason why I didn't think I need to explain it again, but I'll explain it if you want. So the ring laser gyroscope suffers from, and the Sagnac effect suffer from laser locking, yeah? Where if there's no rotation, or if there's small rotation, the laser will lock and you will not notice a fringe difference in the two beam paths. So you have to introduce a pump to keep the laser from locking, and therefore it will be able to detect smaller angular changes. Now, some people say that that's the thing causing the 15 degrees per hour rotation, and some people say no, it's now working perfectly and it can detect very small angular changes, and it's detecting the rotation of the Earth.
Well, they use, I don't know what the pump has to do with it, but they use a thing called forced dithering, which to overcome that. Essentially,
Yes,
they rotate the cavity of the laser ring cavity clockwise and anti-clockwise, back and forth on a spring. That overcomes that locking effect you're talking about.
Yes. So yeah, the dithering is the pump that I'm referring to. Yes.
Okay.
So basically, they introduce. So if you imagine you've got some music playing on your speakers, you'll hear a constant tone in the background, like a beep noise, which is introducing a sound to stop the speakers from sticking in one position and you hearing no music. So basically, that's what they're doing. They're introducing a pump. But yeah, it's good work. I want science and truth to prevail, but there is accurate information on both sides coming through here, and I just want to stop the arguments. So I look forward to your test, Globy.
Thank you. Yeah, you can't stop the arguments.
Yeah, no, but at the end of the day, I know that what you're going to show is exactly correct. But what you need to clearly show is the directions that you're facing. One of the things with the Southern Crux experiment is you'll never be able to show the Southern Crux in 3 different continents. So you'll never be able to show it in Argentina, South Africa, and Australia at the same time. So you will only have.
Nighttime.
Pardon?
It's never nighttime.
Yeah, but if that's the case, you have to trust in stellarium, which you do, and then you will have to agree that you're looking 3 different directions to see the Southern Crux from 3 different places.
Caleb's gonna clown me. He's talking in the comments. I'm so scared, Caleb.
Okay. Was there anything else that needed clarifying from a flat earther's perspective?
No.
No.
Yeah,
All right.
Look,
Yeah.
3 locations is not 100% necessary, but I do plan on trying it when Russ is going to be off the coast of Brazil.
Yeah.
I believe he said next month, so I'm going to give it a shot while he's on the ship. So he won't technically be on the continent, but he'll be off the coast. So hopefully east enough to be in the darkness, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, no, like I did check stellarium even in the, when it's the shortest nights in the southern hemisphere, you still can't do it. It's like impossible. Unless, like you say, he's halfway in between Australia, no, and halfway between South Africa and South America, then he could possibly do it.
Yep, that might be accurate.
Yeah.
Who said can't work in the southern hemisphere? What drugs are they on?
Ask Caleb.
Yeah.
They have to say things like that because they have to deny the observation. Instead of letting the science and the observations dictate where you're going, like I get it if you question magnetic declination and stuff like that, fine, we can question that. We also have maps that measure the declination and you can adjust for that. So,
Well, you can map it only to a certain degree. It gets kind of hard when you're going over the oceans. But the thing with the magnetic declination, just to make some clarification, is that you're actually having to adjust it because of the magnetic field. The way that it goes over the Earth isn't exactly uniform, and the needle is going to point to where the magnetic field is, and sometimes that's like off to the side of where you're at, where north is, as opposed to like being directly where north is. So you can look at a good example of this would be to just look at the magnetic. What the heck is it called? Sorry, I'm brain farting on it so hard. The magnetic lines over the map, the way that on any map, you can do it over a globe, you can do it over the Mercator, you could do it over the AE map. It looks not exactly uniform in any model, but I will say over the AE map, it does look more uniform, having it all kind of like create a 4-leaf clover in the center. It's pretty artistic, so I like it. It's just my opinion.
Yeah, like look down. Like the bottom line is Ted's showing it. Do we believe that compass is pointing south right now?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, that's all we need to know, because when he's looking at his compass tomorrow night, I'm predicting that he's going to be looking pretty much south, just southeast, maybe, to see the crux.
Yeah, well, it's like Sigma's right here, right? Sigma's right, and everything rotates around it. So the Southern Cross will be coming up across me around here and then disappearing below. That's how it works. It's like a Mach.
Yep, doing a nice circle around Sigma Octantis, the South Pole star. Yes.
Yep. And I'll even zoom in onto it for you, Globey, onto Sigma Octantis, providing the weather's clear. And I'll do a short time lapse with it, and you'll be able to see it.
Yeah, that would be great. I was going to ask you if you can see Sigma Octantis. It's hard to see. It's pretty dim, though, right?
It is, but I'm lucky. I'm in a very dark spot out here, so it's good.
Okay.
Black light. So we'll do a time lapse. I'll get right in as close as I can, and we'll have a look. And also my coordinates of whereabouts I am in South Australia exactly, right the way down to the last bit.
Cool. So Ted, we can hear you clearly now. Did your compass have any weights on the bottom of the needles?
It looks like it's slightly pointing down north, like the south is slightly up.
I mean, when you turn it upside down, does it have any round circle weights on the bottom of either needle?
No.
No?
Not that I
so
can
therefore,
see.
Therefore, it's not a weighted compass. You'll see like white round circles underneath the needle if they've got weights on them.
Yeah, that's probably why it's pointing down a little bit, the northern needle, right? So if he took that compass further south, like to Antarctica, it would be pointing all the way down. It would be dragging. It wouldn't even probably work.
Okay, so
The northern
Ted,
needle
is your
would
yeah?
drag on the bottom of the compass.
Okay.
I just,
Okay.
look, if south was all the way around, okay, watch the needle when I turn. Why does it always stay in the one direction? So how the hell can south be all the way around on a flat Earth? That makes no friggin'
That's
sense
easy.
at all.
Easy to debunk, dude.
Yeah.
Literally, you're just
only
close
two
to the wall.
Get close to the wall.
Anyway, I'm off, guys. Good luck. And
All right.
if you've got any I'm going to be watching the science experiments take place at 6 p.m. tonight. I've got your thing in the diary, Globy. Okay.
All right. Very good.
All right, good luck. But I already trust Ted, and he's shown me plenty of times, so I know that what he's going to show you is what you're going to observe. Yeah.
All right.
What time
Very
is
good.
that?
2 p.m. Eastern, whatever that translates into, whatever you guys are.
Yeah, it's 6 p.m. UK time or GMT.
I'm setting
Well, that helps
alarm
me. I'm in Eastern.
I'm setting my alarm for 3 a.m., so I got plenty of time.
All right. Yeah, I appreciate. Thank you, Ted, for getting up so early in the morning for it.
No, that's cool. Not a problem at all. I got a race day anyway, so I got to be up early. So with a bit of luck, this cloud will piss off and we'll have really clear skies, and we'll be able to do it. I'm hoping.
Is this going to be the one with 3 people, or is this still just 2?
Well, we were just talking about that. I don't know, but maybe you were doing something else. But it's not nighttime in South America at the same time. So I am going to try it next month. Someone's going to be on a ship off the coast, and maybe he can get far enough east off the coast, and we can get 3 observers. Won't technically be on the continent, but should be off the coast of Brazil. So we're going to try it again with 3. But yeah, it's not dark enough. That's the problem.
Yeah, another question, Globy. Am I going to just go live and are you going to jump into mine, or what's going to happen?
Yeah, go live, and then I will do we'll co-host, because that way you can zoom in on your camera. If we co-host, that's what screwed us up last time. You got to co-host to be able to zoom.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't join last time. It was taking me ages to connect.
Yeah, so we'll just do that co-host, and then I'll switch over. When we're done, I'll switch over to Clint in South Africa.
Right, yep, no worries. Okay, what time will it be for him, do you know, roughly?
About 7 p.m.
Okay, yeah, it's about the same time as last time. That's cool.
Yeah, that's the only real time that works.
I've set my alarm early enough, and I've got plenty of time to set it all up, tripods and everything's
Cool.
charged. So
Awesome.
yeah, so
right.
I'll also zoom in as close as I can to Sigma, and we'll do a short. If we sit there for about 10 minutes, you'll be able to definitely see it start going around clockwise. Not a problem.
So what I'm predicting before I go, because I'm going to go to bed, is that Clint's going to see it southeast.
Yep.
And Ted's going to see it pretty much south, maybe a little southeast. So it's going to be there and there on this map at the same time.
Compass will tell us, and I hope Clint's using a mechanical compass.
Oh, thank God.
Well, I'd be curious to see the results in any case. Before you hop off, I do have one question from one of the guys over on YouTube. I finally found a way, by the way, in case you didn't catch it, we are being able to stream live to YouTube, Rokfin, and TikTok all at the same time, so it's pretty dope. But, yeah, so anybody who wants to go check that out, you can click my website in the bio, and you can find all my stuff. But here's the question from Andrew B. It says for Globy, but Globeman's here too, so I guess any of you guys can answer it. Do you believe that we went to the moon? And also, why can we see Mercury and Venus at night at the same time?
You want to take it?
I mean, if you want to go first, you can. I can draw out the Mercury one real fast.
Yeah, you need to draw that. I mean, Mercury and Venus, they're just, you can see them, but you can only see them low on the sky at dawn and dusk. And there's just geometry, and Globeman's going to draw it out and show you the geometry. It's very simple. People ask that question because they think Mercury and Venus are always directly between the sun and the earth, and that's just not true. They're orbiting, so there's certain angles we can see them. What was the other question? The moon? Yeah, we went to the moon, obviously. 100%. Nobody can convince me
There you
otherwise.
have it. 100%.
I've never seen evidence to the contrary that held up to scrutiny. So,
All right, and then this is a crude drawing. I did it on MS Paint, so sorry. But there's the Earth right there. Boom. There's the sun, and then I'll draw a little black dot as Mercury because I forgot that. I'm horrible. Now here is Mercury or Venus or whatever you want it to be. From here, all we're doing is, even though we're on the night side, we can only see it at dawn or dusk. So it might be kind of hard to see, but I put a little line through there. Here, I'll make it a little bit bigger. There we go. So now, even from the night side, we still have a line of sight to that, but it's going to be limited. We'll only be able to see it during, dawn or dusk, right? Because again, it is between the Earth and the Sun, but we have that little tiny bit of time to view it.
yeah, you'll never see those two planets high up in the sky. They're always lower in the sky for that reason.
So that's all we need for the moon landing to be fake is like not seeing any evidence to the contrary. What?
Yeah, like all the evidence shows that it's real, so you got to prove that it's not real.
Personal experience.
Like all the equipment exists, all the rockets, all the people that went and said they went, all the moon rocks, the retroreflectors, like the fact that the dust on the lunar rover doesn't accelerate when it's kicked up, which means there's no air resistance on the moon.
But you're saying, so since I've never seen anything that I think is to the contrary that it did happen, I can say 100% now. Like that was the statement you made.
Yeah, I've never seen any.
So 100% I think it's fake because I haven't seen any evidence to the contrary.
Okay, I don't understand your point.
The point is being intellectually honest. You know what I mean? Like how
Which
are you going
part
to
was not honest?
100%? We're at 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Evidence are you going to require to prove a negative claim?
But you don't have to believe me that I say it's 100%. I'm not forcing you to believe me.
In my mind, it's 100% because I haven't seen the evidence to the contrary.
That's how that works. Yeah.
Yes, there is no evidence of the contrary. Would be a better statement.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just breaking your balls, dude. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. It's fucking late. I'm
I
tired.
wouldn't believe it. That doesn't exist, so I don't disagree that it happened.
Yeah, I would
didn't. I'll agree with you.
I would disagree with the moon landing if I saw some evidence that led to that.
Like 98 or something.
99.9. All right. Does that make you feel better?
Yeah.
All right.
What evidence would you require to prove a negative claim?
That they didn't go?
It's not a negative claim.
Yeah, proof that the film, the photos they took on film were staged. Proof that it wasn't filmed on the moon, right? Proof that they could have faked the lighting. Proof Photoshop existed. I don't know, prove anything.
So wait, but green screen blue screen came about in 1930, and that is adequate to do the job.
Definitely not, because we can analyzing the dust and the actual movement of the stuff that it was filmed in a vacuum.
Better because we're using projection instead of a digital medium. But sure.
Yes, you're correct. It was analog. That's why I'm saying it couldn't have been faked.
Sure.
So like practical
effects. That's your opinion. Could you just say that's your opinion?
No, they would have had to use miniatures, dude. You ever watch movies with miniatures, practical effects?
Totally could have used miniatures for certain parts.
They could have. They would have had to. Is what my point is, and the point, and it's very obvious when they use miniatures in movies.
I mean, they do have miniatures of the moon, right?
It was obvious in Stanley Kubrick's 2001. Was that pretty obvious to you?
Yeah, go watch it.
Why can't you tell the rendering that NASA does? Then you're always like, this video is 100% real, and you can see the fucking rendering in it.
Jay, and you have to admit yourself, 2001: A Space Odyssey was great. Dude, 2001: A Space Odyssey, great movie, but even you have to admit that doesn't look real. Come on.
No, but I'm saying for the time, for
the time it's good. I agree. For the time it's good, but I mean, there's so many inconsistencies with real life. I mean, they show the Earth and the stars exposed for the same film.
Let's amplify that budget in the moon landing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The problem with the miniatures, Tribune, is that you can't get the detail in the miniatures that we see in the video.
That's not true at all.
It's 100% true.
That is not true at all. I've actually taken 3 years of drama and stagecraft, and actually, when you want to get really, really good details, I mean, you just need to get an artist on it. It's not that difficult to do. And plus, the miniatures that they were using weren't like super duper small either. I mean, the one that I seen in particular was like the size of a room. So it's like, yeah, you can call it a miniature if you're comparing it to something conceptual like a make believe planet. But I mean, it's in all effective. It's an effective miniature that they're using. So
But then you
yeah,
have to
but it's
take
still pretty
into account-
big.
Then you have to take into account the film size, though. So it was taken on 70 millimeter film, not like 35. This is pretty big. We would be able to see brush strokes because of how large the actual, how large the resolution is. I mean, it's too much detail for that to be hidden. I mean, if you get 70 millimeter film and take a picture of like a painting on canvas, even, you can see the lines that are stitched to make the canvas.
And you don't think there's any type of technique at all that could mitigate that?
Not really. You could put a polarizer on it potentially. That might help soften up the lines, but it's still really big film.
I'm going to relate it to the copier trick. All you got to do is run it through film a couple different times. So you film the film, and then you film the film, and you can get rid of that pretty easily.
Sure, but we have the original film.
Do we?
You're not
That sounds like a positive claim that you would need to prove.
Yeah, it's on
getting
display,
that.
and
Like,
you can go see
you
it.
could have the original negative after that process.
It was a direct to positive.
So there's no way to know for sure if that is the original, if what I said was true, if they filmed the film and then filmed the film again. They would simply not tell you that those other films that they filmed exist, and they would say this is the original. So
Exactly.
the way that it's
But
done,
then
there's no way to prove it.
Yeah, but then we lose detail, right? Like if you.
That's the point, yeah.
Right.
That's the point.
But
Yeah,
the
we're
rest-
losing a little bit of detail, but
Right,
they
the
make
rest
it
is
big on a.
this.
They make it huge, right? So they make it so that they can use the little bit of detail, the little grains and stuff that you're worried about, but they don't make it so that they can lose the detail in the craters. And if you go back and actually watch it, I mean, it's not super duper detailed. You're not seeing like grains of sand or anything like that. You're seeing
yeah.
pretty big craters. I'm talking about the shot where they're like pretending to be in orbit and they're like overhead. So that's the shot in particular that I'm talking about that they would have used that moon miniature for.
Yeah, I'm talking about the photos. I'm talking about the 70 millimeter Hasselblad camera that they had, and that was taken with them on the surface. Actually, two of them. I think there was one they left in and one they took out.
But why are we talking about that one? I'm talking about an example of a miniature being used.
Because
that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, because that also applies. Even if they're on the surface, they would also have to use miniatures, right? Because we're trying to make this a massive amount of detail. We can prove for a fact it was in a vacuum.
No, I think you misunderstand. So the only thing they would.
I wasn't even done. I was going to say we can prove for a fact it was in a vacuum. That's out of the question. We can just analyze the dust and say, okay, well, they're in a vacuum environment.
Dude, come on. Like, how can you prove for a fact that it was in a vacuum?
Because there's no air resistance. The horizontal motion
So
does not...
every magician you've ever seen, that's what that statement tells me, is that you just believe them.
I would like to see,
wow, that was such a cool trick. You know what I mean?
See a magician negate air resistance. Once that happens, then I'll take your side. But either way, I'm not saying a vacuum means they were on the moon.
Altered.
Vacuum doesn't mean they're on the moon. Hold on, I wasn't even done yet. I was going to say, just because we know it's in a vacuum, that doesn't mean it's on the moon, right? But what it does mean is that it would have had to be at least a vacuum.
You do not know 100% that it was a 1/6 gravity.
Please, Jay, please. So we're talking about the horizontal motion. I haven't mentioned 1/6 gravity.
I'm allowed to disagree with you, right? Why do you say Jay, please, Jay?
Because you're interrupting.
You are. Ghost, you are kind of interrupting this point. Let him finish the point and then address it, and then we're gonna go back and forth, right? We're not gonna let anybody slip anything by,
So all I was gonna say is we can look at the horizontal motion and see that all the particles, like the little bit of dust, that's not experiencing air resistance. That doesn't mean instantly it's on the moon. That doesn't prove that, but it does prove it was in a vacuum environment. And as far as we know, the largest vacuum chamber on Earth is probably about 100 feet, if I remember right. The Lunar Grand Prix, if we look at that footage, they go well beyond what 100 feet would be. And we can see that the actual motion of this dust is consistent to a vacuum. We don't have a vacuum chamber large enough to fake that in on Earth.
All right, Ghost, did you have a point for that?
I don't know what to say. He set up a pretty good strongman that it has to be in a vacuum. So
Well, I can handle it if you'd like, just for the audience sake, right? The reason why we don't really jive with the idea that it has to 100% be in a vacuum is, for one, that is a positive claim. You're saying that it's definitely not experiencing air resistance, and you're basing that off of the video that you've seen of the rover, right? Of the sand, the moon dust, if you will, thrown off the back. I would articulate that if that dust was made of a heavier substance, something like possibly dry cement, maybe it's not exactly like light dust that you're thinking of. I think if it's something a little bit heavier, you can easily create the effect of it not having the air resistance because it's heavy. And also, you just keep the room really still of air, right? When you're doing, that's actually very common when you're talking about a stagecraft, right? It's everything's a controlled environment if we're talking about stagecraft. So you could make the argument that, oh, they would need like a huge stage, or maybe the lighting wouldn't be right. They'd need to use certain lighting, and I'm sure we'll get there. But one thing that you couldn't that you couldn't definitively say that it is 100% not experiencing air resistance, right? Now, if you know, right, if it's been tested, right, I'm sure it's been tested with like dust and like stuff like that, but has it been tested with?
It's not an experiment. It's an analysis of the actual footage. I can tell you what to look up if you want to see it.
Analysis of footage. You just said it right there.
Doesn't there have to be?
If you're in a warehouse full of air, it doesn't matter if the wind's not blowing. There's air in the warehouse. It's going to slow the dust down. Doesn't matter what dust you use.
But he just gave you a reason for that, and you brushed past it.
Yes, it's an
No, he didn't give us the reason. The reason's incorrect. That's what we're saying. You can't get rid of air. You can't get rid of air.
I'm just confused on how you know the rate specifically that dry cement is supposed to fall in a relatively windless environment.
Well, it doesn't matter. It talks about air resistance. So as we throw something through the air, it experiences that air resistance, that friction, it slows down. It doesn't matter how big it is, how small it is. It's going to run into air. What I'm showing here, and I'll tell you what it is if you want to look it up, called ballistic motion of dust particles in the LRV dust trails. That's all it's called. And they tell you exactly which frames they're analyzing. And they go over a bunch of math, which I can't fully say I understand, but basically this is what we see. So if we were in an environment with air, this is not actually the path it takes, but this is talking about the speed. It would speed up and then it would slow down because it's running into air. What we see in the footage is the opposite. We see that it's on a straight upwards path, meaning that the speed is just staying the same. It's not decreasing in its acceleration.
So it's absolutely impossible that it spread out before it fell.
What do you mean?
It's impossible that the stream of dust that they're analyzing had spread out before and became too thin to actually see and analyze, so that they're just assuming that it just goes off into forever, right? That's what it kind of looked like from the graph. I haven't actually seen the analysis, so I'm just going based on what I just seen.
Yeah. So basically, they tell you what frames they're using, and they point to what they're looking at. So they're using very specific frames so they can,
Okay, and who is this source, man?
Can I posit something?
What's up?
Hold on, I want to hear the source.
Yeah, so this is going to be, this is from the American Journal of Physics, ballistic motion of dust particles in the lunar roving vehicle dust trails.
So what it shows is as that dust is moving across the surface, so as it's kicked up, it's moving laterally. It's not slowing down. Now, if there was air in the room, it would be slowing down. It would be encountering some sort of air resistance. Doesn't matter if it's concrete, dust, or sand, it's going to be encountering resistance and slowing down, and it's not slowing down.
But are you willing to agree that they're able to do some pretty fantastic things with practical effects and projections and all sorts of stuff like that?
No, you can't remove acceleration due to friction or deceleration.
Okay, so say we put this same analysis on a different space movie, could they not make that inference?
With CGI, sure.
And that's the nice thing about this analysis. It's one of those things where it tells you exactly which frames they're using, and you can repeat the analysis yourself, right? Because this is just them telling you what they saw. They give you everything you need if you wanted to check it out yourself. Like, you don't have to just take their word for it.
Yeah, like if you're going to say the entire thing's computer generated and all the dust is fake and everything's fake, yeah, sure. Computer generated dust can do whatever you want it to do. This was 1969. They were not doing that.
Okay, 1930s.
I think with the flat earthers, are saying is that the technology was, I guess, it was held back. So the technology that was being introduced in 1969 wasn't
Yeah, the
necessarily
government has always been 30 years ahead of us. They've always stated that.
right. That's what I'm assuming that the flat earthers are saying is that yes, Stanley Kubrick, showed the movie, but only because he was allowed to show the type of technology that he was allowed to show. But I think Globey and Flat Earth Police they have better idea of articulating what I'm about to say, and maybe the flat earthers are gonna eat me alive on this. But if you have a vacuum, does that vacuum nullify the forces like electromagnetic forces, gravity? So in other words, if you have a vacuum and you put two magnets inside of that vacuum, are they still going to attract, even though those two magnets are inside of a vacuum?
Yes, absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. So gravity can still work inside of a vacuum.
Yes, sir.
Space is a vacuum. Gravity is inside of that space. Earth is inside of that vacuum. So even though Earth is in a vacuum, it will still find a way to attract an atmosphere.
I mean, yeah, I agree.
I agree.
It works without, if there's a vacuum or not.
We're not saying that there's not a vacuum. We're saying that Earth is inside of a vacuum. The magnets are inside of a vacuum. The vacuum does not nullify the force.
Right. Yeah, agreed.
Agreed, yeah. You have to sum the forces. Whatever you do, you have to sum the forces, and they don't want to do that. They want to think. They want to say gravity should be stronger than every single thing on Earth. If gravity's holding the oceans down, why does a butterfly fly? Right? Like, it doesn't work like that. It's a product of the summing of the two, or the multiplication of the two masses together.
Can I ask you a question about that though? And I had asked you this earlier. So how is it holding the atmosphere in if it's strongest at the ground? During all these motions through space, would it not equalize?
Gravity
marginal.
Gravity is weakest at the atmosphere.
It's only marginally smaller. Marginally.
Sure. Well, think about this.
It's a product.
Your whole Earth and core, and
it's inversely related to the radius. It's inversely related to the radius of the distance of the two objects. So you're talking a few hundred miles.
I could be wrong about this, but if the atmosphere was made up of nothing but oxygen, if it was made up of nothing but oxygen or nothing but nitrogen, the atmosphere would probably be the same all the way through, or maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, it would be a little bit easier to.
So yeah, the pressure towards the surface is greater because you have more stuff above you. So like, for example, Jay, this might kind of help.
We're talking about gravity now.
Yeah. So they're both going to work together. So when we're talking about gravity, right, the amount of pressure, even if we had the exact same, uniform, oxygen, throughout the entire atmosphere, the pressure would still be greater towards the surface because there's more above it. So like, for example, Jay, to answer your question, even the astronauts in the ISS, I know you don't believe it, but on the globe model, even those astronauts are still experience 90% of the Earth's gravity. The only thing is that they're also falling at the same time. So it's even if we were completely oxygen throughout our entire atmosphere, the pressure would still be greater.
I guess I could be like Globey and say like prove that it wouldn't equalize,
Well, I mean, we have a force acting on it, right? Pressure equals force over area. We can go to atmospheric pressure and talk about the molar mass and all that stuff, but that gets kind of convoluted in the
the vacuum.
So do high pressure systems seek low pressure systems?
The vacuum does not nullify the force that is acting upon other particles inside the vacuum.
Specifically talking about a closed system. You can put like a heavy gas like sulfur hexafluoride, right? It'll sit at the bottom of a tank, right, with the lid off. But that's higher pressure. Why isn't it expanding out into the atmosphere with no lid on the tank? right? Its mass is holding it down.
I mean, we have examples of high and low pressure seeking each other in the atmosphere, but like you're using a different reference, like that has nothing to do with it, really. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about like high pressure in the atmosphere seeks low pressure, and that's why we get storms and stuff like that. Like it violently seeks it.
It doesn't violently seek it. Why it would just explode.
Then you have to equate that with that all the motions of the Earth that would be causing an effect on this atmosphere.
We do. That's called Viola.
But you're not. No, low pressure is seeking high pressure, and high pressure is not seeking low pressure. It's more of an equalization.
I'm talking about your nonsensical system and using your.
It's more of an equalization.
You know.
All right, guys, I'm tired. I got to go to bed. It's 1:30.
I'm about to call it myself here, so everybody get your last shots in.
All right, Ursa Globe, peace out.
Peace, Globy.
Peace, Globy.
All I got to
say, so I'm still at 100%. You know.
Okay, but last thing I want to say, if any flat earther can explain to me why we have hyperbolas instead of circles on a sundial, I'd be happy to hear. But that's I guess where I end it.
You want the mainstream narrative, or what do you want?
I want the answer. But yeah, that's it. So thanks for letting me in. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you again.
For sure. Peace out, Globe.
Yeah, have a good one.
Is why what's the shape of the sun and what's the shape of the moon? Why is the shape of the sun a spotlight and the shape of the moon flat? That's all I have to say.
Oh, that's funny. Some of the comments do kill me sometimes.
For sure. Ghost, you want to take that one, or curvature nope, or?
Well, what did he say? Sorry, I was reading the comment.
So on the flat Earth model, the shape of the sun is a spotlight, meaning that the sun doesn't shoot light rays behind it; it only shoots it down towards the Earth. And then the shape of the moon is.
I forget the name of it, but like we actually do have examples of like the sun being in front of you and projecting light from behind you. I forget the shoot.
No, I've seen the videos. Those are videos that are using.
What's it called though? Like that, it bugs me. I can't bring up the word.
He's talking about the anti-corpuscular rays.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Anti-corpuscular rays. Yeah. I mean, it's rare, but it does happen, and it begs this theory of like, how is that happening?
Well, I'm just asking, like, why aren't the moon and the sun the same shape, the same? Why isn't the moon a spotlight? Why isn't the sun a spotlight? Why isn't the moon? Why isn't the sun flat? Why are they two different entities?
And why aren't fairies and unicorns real? I mean, we can keep asking questions like that all day long, or we can try to stick to what we can actually verify and ask for people's evidence for claims that they have made, right? That's something that I found much more productive.
I'm sorry. Multiple people verified that what they see when the sun is shining on the moon at certain times, whether it be, crescent or new, or they see the moon as a something, a ball and something like shining light on it. It's a ball.
Another embarrassing lie for the Flurps. Did you not see the first part of it with Globy?
So embarrassing. I'm so embarrassed to be here right now.
Yeah.
That's why I'm still here and I haven't shut everything down and deleted my channel. Yeah. What's embarrassing is people who will keyboard warrior away but will never have the cojones to actually show their face and come on a live, right?
Yeah.
That's why I have regardless of what anybody thinks about Globe Man and Globy McGlobeface, at least they have the balls to come up and back up, at least attempt to back up what they believe, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good on you, Troubling. It was a stacked live today. That was pretty cool live today.
Yeah, no worries. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these. When we do go live, I'm going to be streaming it to Rokfin and YouTube. So folks who are in here who like this kind of content, we have the whole thing recorded. Rokfin is another platform that doesn't censor the content creators, and they have the option to have a paid-for account or a free account. So there's content creators on there that actually have premium content that you've probably never seen.
Wow. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, there's got people like Jeranism, Wits It Gets It, Melodome. There's a lot of people over there. So
Guys, go over to Rokfin, and the first search you should search is
Anybody here support Caleb?
Troubling Tribune.
yeah, absolutely. We definitely appreciate the support. We also have the option to send super chats and things like that. So go over to troublingtribune.com in the what's it called in the bio, and then you can find all that stuff. Buy me a coffee, the Cash App, all that, and you can have me stop the whole show and read a super chat live. That includes you, Globers. I don't care what it is. I will read it as long as it doesn't break community guidelines. J. Kell, I appreciate you wanting to come on, but we are about to shut it down, my friend. So maybe next time. But yeah, we do this at least the True Earth is every Friday. But we do have other shows. We do True Fate, like religious debates. We do that every Wednesday. And then we're going to be doing
I
yeah,
want to come to
fun,
that. Yeah.
fun stuff, right? And then we also have a just kind of like a regular. It's called the Tribune Show. So come check it out. It's a little different every single time. That's every Sunday night. I do it at 11 p.m. to 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, and it's a good time. So I appreciate everybody coming out. Appreciate the support. Everything, like I said, go check out the full length version on YouTube and Rokfin. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. It really helps me out. And share the show. It's been a lot of fun.
For sure.
We're gonna be hitting.
Can I say one thing? Close out.
Yeah, go for it, Curvature. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I didn't realize I skipped you.
Good. All good. I just want to say that on a full moon night, when anybody looks up at the moon, that moon is lit up full luminosity from edge to edge. Not stating this is true, but it implies that it is a two-dimensional object.
Interesting. I like that. I like that point.
Very interesting. Very interesting. All right, guys. You guys are awesomely. I support all you guys. I support the Flat Earthers, the Globers, Caleb, Trouble Tribune, all you guys. It's really good.
Yeah,
Jimmy, we appreciate you coming
crushing.
on. Sayonara, my friend. Curvature, Ghost, you guys got anything else before we close on out?
The only thing that I want to state is, guys, we can say anything up here. We could, if you heard something that sparked your interest, whether you're a Globie, Flat Earth, or whatever, use your own discernment and research. It's really easy to type in these topics into Google and stuff like that. So then next time you're in the comments, whether you're flat, globe, whatever, you're not just saying "nuh-uh." You know what I mean? So just everybody have a good night, and just use your own discernment on what you think is going on in your own world. So
Belief is the enemy of knowing, and ego is the protector of belief.
It is true. That is true. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Say one or two more things, and then head out myself. So I appreciate everybody who came on, coming on, being a part, helping make the show. YouTube, Rokfin, stay put. I will be back with you guys in just a second. This is going to go ahead and close out for the TikTok, guys. If you haven't had a chance already, follow me. We're going to go ahead and grow this thing. I know that TikTok's about to be canceled, possibly in America, but on the off chance that it doesn't, help me grow this thing, right? So we definitely appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. This is the latest and greatest, hottest, upcoming debate platform for things like the True Earth. The True Fate debate is coming up next. We're going to be doing that Wednesday, so it's going to be awesome. In any case, I appreciate everybody coming on and turning out. Go ahead and follow me over on YouTube and Rokfin Last Chance, and I will see you guys next time. Peace. And of course I say that, and it's been so long since I've done one of these that I've actually forgotten. All right, folks. Sorry about that. We've been muted that entire time. Whoopsie daisy. No big whoop though. Pretty fun live. The Globers usually line right up, when we open those up. But usually it's just like it's been the same ones when I was doing it before. So I'm gonna try to make sure that we keep it dynamic and don't get the same ones every single time. But I completely agree with you, Andrew B. They did not provide any evidence of anything when challenged on any real topic. They kind of skirted from it, and downright made things up. It seemed. I'm not super familiar on the Mach's principle. It's something that I'm starting to research, but he said that it was debunked or superseded, and it absolutely was not. It's an integral part of relativity, and if relativity exists, then guess what? It seems like Mach's principle is a part of that, and if Mach's principle is real, then that means that that can be an explanation for the translation of motion. So, it's pretty basic. They really didn't want to answer that as far as like what about the stars? Oh my goodness, the southern Octanus. Every time they try to hit us with that, and it's like, do you guys not know what star charts are? We have naval charts. They have the stars perfectly, perfectly mapped out around the entire world. It's pretty cool, except for like maybe Antarctica. Who knows? We can't go and check. But yeah, really great show. I appreciated everybody tuning in for that. It went a little longer than I anticipated. I wanted to cut it off like 30 minutes ago and then give you guys a little bit more time, but hey, it is what it is. We're gonna make a little bit more time next time, but I gotta be up early, so that's the only reason why I'm kind of shutting it down. But hey, it's been great. I appreciate everybody tuning out, showing up, sharing the show. If there was any points that you feel got missed or overlooked, feel free to shoot me a message or shoot a comment or whatever. That way everything does get addressed. We definitely don't want to leave any stone unturned. Oh my goodness, what if we are wrong and the world really is a globe and we're just paranoid? That chance, right? Like a 1 in a million chance. But hey, let's go ahead and close on out. We got a fantastic song picked out for you guys. And when I say picked out, I mean that I have to pull it up still. Oh yeah, let's listen to that awful commercial. Just kidding. This will just take a moment. It's been a little bit since we heard this one. I'm still on YouTube, so I'm not going to play anything that can be copyright. So that narrows us down a little bit. But hey, let's go ahead and check out some Punch Deck. All right, folks, I will see you next time. It'll be Sunday. Until then, peace.